The drama never stops in cryptocurrency, especially lately. Celsius, remember Celsius? They had their own token called Cell, but they were more popularly known for users earning interest, but it turns out that they were basically a Ponzi scheme. Okay, we're going to recap exactly what Celsius is, what happened, and how this new FTX contagion actually has a big impact on Celsius and where they go from here. My heart goes out to everyone negatively impacted by anything in crypto lately, especially those Celsius users, because getting caught up in that bankruptcy because they are basically sold fake dreams, devastating. My name is Vosk. You're on the Voskcoin YouTube channel where we keep it real. Let's dig into another crazy one. $1.7 million people got scammed. That should be the headline here. The site's still up. Some of the things are still here. Some things are gone, like Alex Mashinsky. Okay, so this dude is an egomaniac. We exchanged some emails with Celsius, and they actually did sponsor one video on the channel, which was promptly removed. Just to be very clear, a full transparency. I was pretty critical of Celsius in that video, and in later videos after having more dealings, more or less with Alex and his team, and seeing the way he acted, they just wanted him to parade around and act like he was some genius. He was writing a book about being an entrepreneur and needs to be rebranded to scammer and all that stuff. But yeah, so he's the ex-CEO who also he withdrew $10 million before the company froze customer accounts. Other reports show $17 million. Enter Jessica Cater. Okay, she's the head of institutional lending, or she was, and she was on Forbes 30 under 30, boasting here a book of $300 million in Bitcoin assets, resulting in $2.2 billion in loans. Not trying to come off the wrong way or anything, but just think about the people that you want managing your funds, your crypto, your money to any degree. I'm gonna leave this picture here, and you can dig around and figure out anything if you want to. A Celsius senior software architect perhaps saw the writing on the wall when he withdrew over 46 grand, USDC to be precise, from his Celsius Earn account. Then he sent it to Crypto.com. Like this dude says, my guy chasing yield. That's an aggressive play, man. That's an aggressive play. Celsius, this is one of the latest news, is owed $12 million by Alameda Research, who is now filed for bankruptcy. Newest member of the Bankrupt crypto club. That sounds like an incoming NFT collection. The Bankrupt crypto lender new CEO told the judge Celsius Mining has approximately 40,000 mining rigs. Well, it's good they have some tangible assets. Unfortunately, Bitcoin mining is more difficult and harder than it's ever been before. The difficulty is the highest it's been, all-time highs. Hash rate's high, and the coin's lower in price. Most mining operations are treading water, especially smaller ones or ones that are dealing with issues like this. And how can you really focus on being a great mining op? You're in the middle of a bankruptcy. This title sucks. FTX collapses into bankruptcy system that still hasn't figured out crypto. It's just kind of confusing, but or just not intuitive. But it's true. They haven't figured it out. No, not in the slightest. Celsius Network, Bankrupt, filed Chapter 11, everything like that. FTX did the same. FTX also wrapped FTX US up in their bankruptcy filing, which makes no sense to me because they're supposed to be separate entities, and FTX US was supposed to be solvent, have backed assets, and be regulated by the United States of America. Well, it turns out US regulators are absolute idiots because they suck and they can't do their job, which is part of the reason they got here. So all they do is collect fat checks, and they don't do anything or protect anyone, and then they masquerade like heroes that they try to do these things. Bankrupt crypto lender Celsius files motion to extend the submission for a reorganization plan. I can understand that on the cusp of all the FTX news and drama and how that can further impact it, and basically it's just more bad news for Celsius and everyone impacted by that. But it also means that they're gonna continue paying out their employees and other things and whatever else, right? So a judge temporarily denied Celsius from paying certain employees a retention bonus. Payments of these would have totaled nearly $3 million. They claimed this was necessary to keep the company's employee from jumping ship. Why do we really need almost all of them? Jump ship, dudes. Stop wasting money of other people. They don't make money. They just spend money. They're evaporating what they could be returning to the people impacted. Celsius shareholders are denied a committee status to fight customers for assets. A judge declined to grant big institutional investors an official committee that could bill its fees to the crypto lender's bankruptcy estate. The more they bill, the less anyone will ever get. And I don't care about the investors. What I care about are the average Joe users. Furthermore, this goes to show you that the investors are not your friends. They don't care about you. They don't care about the little guy. They only care about themselves, their wallets, protecting and fighting for their own interests. And they most likely have a lot more money to burn up than the average Joe, Schmo, whatever. Furthermore, it takes a lot more effort to rally the little guy. And those little guys could actually be fully, truly liquidated by this scenario. Honestly, pretty tragic, pretty gutting, pretty scary, really sucks. This kind of goes in line with this headline, if we can trust any mainstream media, which, spoiler, we can't. We can just run with the headline. It's enough of the information we need here for this video. Granted, I've obviously done more research on this. But bankrupt crypto lender Celsius could leave the customers last in line to get paid. That means you get paid the least. But the bad or weird, or maybe this in a way could have kind of been a little bit in the right market, good news never stops. Celsius mentioned, I guess, a plan, a Hail Mary for their bankruptcy plan. Turn their debt into a new cryptocurrency. Yes, my friends, you can now buy Celsius's debt as the next popular coin. You're gonna love it. It's called an IOU. Okay, maybe it would have worked out or wouldn't, but yeah, that's the latest on that one. By the way, their accounting was formerly done with a simple Excel sheet. And this is exactly why we need not only public proof of reserves of all these centralized platforms moving forward, which I'm personally not going to use. You can use them if you want to and see how that all works out. It's worked out terribly for me historically now, but along with almost everybody else. But it's not just you need public proof of reserves. You also need a public proof of liabilities, because you could have $2 billion, but if you owe people $4 billion, where's the other $2 billion? And what happens? Spoiler, bad things happen. That's what happens. So here's an example of this guy. Sold this on the claims market. And basically on the claims market, for example, like the Voyager bankruptcy, the Celsius bankruptcy, soon to be the FTX bankruptcy on this market, among maybe others coming soon as well, unfortunately, tragically. So we got Tom Wicks here. He had a claim amount of he had over $300,000 on there. The claim for this, basically he took a buyout for 19% of his money. So he's getting 19% of almost $307,000. Also, the buyer of this pays $3,000 as an admin fee. Crazy. Then there's the tax implications, right? Taxes last year for crypto were crazy. People were trying to figure out, do they owe on this, how much this, that, whatever. And so many different transactions, DeFi, CeFi, all that kind of stuff. Now it's like, what the hell happens with like bankruptcy and lost money, and is it really lost or is it temporarily lost? Like it's very convoluted and confusing. So they talk about Celsius, 1.7 million users impacted by this, which means 1.7 million users may have to deal with this for their taxes, especially if it's any sizable sum. They held 12 billion worth of customer deposits under manage, facing liquidity crisis, right? Moving forward, with failure of the platform, can you deduct your Celsius losses? The deductibility of Celsius losses hinges on the concept of bad debt, which is outlined in section 166 of the IRS code. And so most Celsius customers are individual investors. They look specifically at 166D, which deals with non-business bad debts, defined as any debt not related to the taxpayer's trade or business. Generally, a non-business bad debt is recognized as a short-term capital loss on a taxpayer's return. Two requirements are needed for this. Bona fide debt must be completely worthless. A valid enforceable obligation to pay this fixed sum, whatever. For the debt to be completely worthless, has to be considered wholly uncollectible. And the fact that there's regulations, there's no mechanism for partial deductibility of non-business bad debts. Instead, the entire debt must be worthless to deduct the bad debt as a capital loss. Many taxpayers believe that Celsius's bankruptcy filing is grounds to consider its underlying debts worthless. However, Regulation 1.166-2C holds that bankruptcy only indicates the worthlessness of at least part of a debt. There may be some case law that comes out of all of this, because bankruptcy for other things versus cryptocurrency are very different worlds. Unfortunately, a lot of people are in bad situations. Taxes are already criminal because they print as much money as they want, and then you're supposed to know how much money you're supposed to send them, and if you don't figure it out right, they send you to jail and fine you and make you pay interest. But then furthermore, basically make money, pay us taxes, right? Lose money, maybe you can deduct it on your future taxes. But like, what if I lost all the money I paid taxes on last year? I should get all the taxes I paid back last year. But that's not really the case. Consult a professional. Nothing here is investment advice or anything else like that. But that's the situation. It is just very bad situations for many people across the board. Very frustrating. Very overwhelming. This is a gist wrap up for what it's worth. I hope it helps somebody. My name is Voskcoin on the Voskcoin YouTube channel. Home of Tales, our CTO, our Chief Tax Officer here at the Voskcoin YouTube channel. She's the cutest pup in my world. Maybe yours too. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. I will see you on the next video, hopefully. A very important and timely note regarding all of this is the deadline to submit a proof of claim. I'll drop this link down in the video description below, but if you are unfortunately impacted by this, then you need to make sure you submit the proof of claim in your pursuit of retrieving some of your funds.